We live.
Everybody to another episode of the Frag Illuminati. I'm your host this week, Be Easy, with my brothers on the screen. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves to people who don't know who you are.
What's up, everybody? It's G-Man with the Frag Illuminati. What's up, everybody?
G-Man. What's up? This is Rock, y'all. I'm calling from Detroit. We do want to apologize for that little technical difficulties earlier, and thanks for coming back.
And we got somebody sitting down there. You know, we got a nice little celeb that came and break bread with us today. We have
Not quite, man. Not quite, but I'm trying to get there, man.
What's happening, brother? What's good, man?
Not too much, man. I appreciate y'all fellas for having me on, for sure, man. For sure.
And
say that man's name again so everybody will know.
D.
Say
Parks.
it loudly. There you
D.
go.
Parks
There you go.
from Park Sense.
Yes, sir.
And from the Frag Illuminati to you, congratulations, brother, on your new addition to your family, and also the other things that you have going on in your life. The listeners who's tuning in today, D has a real full plate, and he carved out time to make sure he can come on to do the interview with the guys on the show. So I really appreciate that, brother.
Hey, man, y'all doing me a favor, man. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I appreciate you guys, man.
Man, let's get to it, bro.
Yes, sir.
Let's introduce G-Man. He popped up in there. So, I mean, folks probably can't see him, but he did pop up in there. So.
That's Dre. I
mean, Ghost Man. Let's introduce Ghost Man.
We got a ghost today. Mr. Dre here on the road, tuning in from the distance.
Usual. Straight through life at all times. I'm surprised I'm even able to hit this long right now.
D,
yes, sir.
The first thing I wanted to ask you, man, what inspired you to start your own line, brother?
If I'm being honest, man, I got to give a lot of credit to my mother. She's the creator of the shea butter that some people have heard about or purchased. But yeah, she just always been in the sense, man, fragrances since I was a little kid, man. She always smelled like it's part of the reason I'm an oversprayer, man. She come out the room and it's on, baby. So since a kid, I just was programmed to smell good, man. Hygiene, that was real big, and then just followed me throughout life. And as far as my lineup right here, man, as you can see, Matrimony. This was dedicated to my wife and actually my mother as well, because their birthdays are one day apart, September 5th and September 6th. So
you got Virgos over there.
Yeah, man.
Good God Almighty.
Got a full plate, man.
And on top of that, you got the best Virgos, because my birthday is on September 5th. So
for real, that's my mother's birthday.
There's too many gifts.
Okay.
There's too many gifts at once. Ain't nobody got time for all that.
But yeah, man, long story short, Mom Deuce, she definitely carved a way for me, man. I just been into it ever since, man, and here we are.
Now, a lot of people think it's easy to start your own line, because you see a lot of people. I've seen a few people who think it's easy just to throw some notes together and say, hey, I got a fragrance. Right. What are some of your trials and tribulations that you endured when you started your own line?
It's definitely not easy. So, but it's not the hardest thing in the world either. But to be quite honest, man, the stars kind of aligned for me. God, kind of whatever higher power you believe in, keep believing, because manifestation and dedication and hard work pays off. But not even hard work, man. I kind of started on social media. I would kind of post my scent of the day like we do in the groups, post my scent of the day. This was before my fragrance line or anything. Before I always knew I wanted to kind of get into it, but this was before anything. And I would just post my scent of the day, and I would get DMs about people, took my recommendation, or not even my recommendation, took my scent of the day and went and bought it for themselves or their partner. They DM me, thank you, I bought this for such and such, and they love it. So that was happening. I'll post my scent more on the weekend. That'll happen. And like I said, whenever I created this and presented it to my wife, and I actually made the post on social media, my DMs blew up, man. It was like, look, we trust your nose. We know you like to smell good, so we want to buy it. So that's kind of what triggered it and got me into it, man. So
Since you did that, talk to us about Matrimony, man. Talk to us about everything behind it.
well, like I said, hence the name Matrimony, and this is the original bottle. This is actually my wife's bottle. This is the first bottle. I don't know if everybody can see this, but this is the first bottle ever produced. You can see she got a little dent in it. You know, she kind of she got another bottle. This is a travel size, and this is the label that the masses receive. So the same bottle is just a silhouette of me and her. So this is me and my wife's wedding picture. And like I said, hence the name Matrimony. But yeah, man, it was coming up on our 6-month anniversary. We both in the sense, and I wanted to give her something that was from the heart versus just typical. So it just hit me like I'm gonna try to make her own scent. I linked up with this guy and kind of gave him my idea. He's a perfumer, and I was just originally making it for her. So I kind of took all the notes that I think she likes. That's why some people hit me and say, look, I kind of get hints of Baccarat. I kind of get hints of Lost Cherry. So I took all my wife's favorite notes, favorite perfumes, and kind of put them in one and put my own twist on it. So it wouldn't be like a clone or a dupe, and it have some originality. And here we are, man. So that's kind of what started it. As far as the name, I was literally asleep, man. I woke up at probably like 3 or 4 in the morning, and Matrimony, I just said the word. I don't know if I was dreaming or I went to bed at night trying to figure out what I wanted to name it, but I just woke up and Matrimony. So I started writing down, little notes, and it just worked out, man. So
I guess it's self-explanatory about foreplay and plead the fifth, huh?
Pretty much. You know how we do, man. As far as foreplay, where is it at? I mean, plead the fifth. This is one of my favorites, and I'm not just saying this because it's from my brand, but this is actually in my top. I think Mr. Ghost, man, wherever he is, Mr. Drake can attest to it. He's put it in his top 10 before. But like I said, not to brag or boast by any means, but you like what you like, and this is out of my collection, one of my top ones. But people always ask what you got on, and some people give the disclaimer. Some people let them know. I mean, I'm not one of the type. Even though I named it Plead the Fifth, I tell people what it is. Everybody's skin chemistry is different. Everybody got their own style, so I'm not too worried about it. But that's kind of where the wordplay, the name came from. Just people asking, and some people don't want to tell them. So,
Well, I ain't gonna hog you up, man, because I know the brothers got other questions to ask you, but I got some more that we can talk about when we spin back around the block.
That's cool. Cool deal.
So I guess we go with Andre, Eric, Lenny.
I don't really have no questions.
Oh, okay.
I just want to. Well, I do have one. When am I getting this 250 mil? Because I need it with the immediateness.
That's funny, man. Because my cousin, I lied to you not, man. First of all, Dre is one of my top supporters. I'm not just saying that because you guys invited me on. For anybody in the fragrance group that we're all in that's listening, I do not pay Dre. I do not give him fragrances. Well, I have give him samples, but Dre buys everything. I don't call this man and say, man, can you post this? He does it out of kindness of his heart. Or I guess he does it because he really likes it. So I want to put it out there.
It's well worth doing that.
Yeah, man. If you didn't know any better, you would think I paid this man to promote it, but I don't. So I wanted to get that out.
The crazy thing is, I've actually had people ask me that.
Right.
And like I tell them, there's some sense that come along that you just can't help but to talk about.
Right.
It's like it's just like everybody up here has a specific scent that I'm pretty sure they're gonna forever recommend to somebody.
Right.
And that's what it was for me. It's like it's so good because when I first tried it, when you sent me those samples, and I tried them all, I was like, oh, hey, these good. But I didn't really put too much stock in it until they started to dry down and do what they do.
Right.
And then 47 hours later, I'm still smelling it. So I said, you know what? This is it. So then the more I sat with it, I was like, yeah, this is the one right here. This is mine. And I will forever buy it. It's going to stay in my collection.
I
Forever.
appreciate
I don't care what nobody says.
And just to build off of that, why he mentioned the longevity. So they're all my offerings are parfum extract. Some people ask me, you know, my thing is quality. You know, it's cool to have quantity. I could have took a cheaper route and you know, cut corners on the ingredients, but I know what I like. I know what kind of quality I like. I know what kind of longevity. So even though I'm an oversprayer, it doesn't take much just to warn people that's interested or already have it. You know, a little bit goes a long way. And Dre's not joking about 47 hours, man. I got a robe that I wore on Valentine's Day, and I think I had on. I'm pretty sure I had on foreplay, and I wore the robe. I put it back in the closet. I probably pulled it back out like 2 months later. No lie. Which you know the fiber of a robe, like the what's the material on the robes?
Man, I don't know. You wearing Versace robes?
Nah.
You wearing Versace. You know what I'm saying?
You probably got some high price
The
stuff.
cashmere
Yeah,
type of feel.
silk, cotton,
The
what?
cashmere type of feel. So you know the scent was stuck in it to say the least.
Gotcha.
And this was like 2 months later. I could still pick up on it. So yeah, man, longevity is not an issue. I try to give people, you know, if you're gonna support me, I'm gonna try to give you what you pay for. For sure.
I'm say it's well worth it. It is. And if nobody believes it, you can just ask me. I'll tell you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, Dre.
Yo, Rob.
What
What's up,
up,
Rob?
yo? What's going on, D?
I can't call it, brother. How you, man? It's a lot
I'm
of
all right, man. Appreciate you coming
a
on
lot
to
of
the show.
Detroit going on over there, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nothing but gotta represent the 313.
I thought it was
Well,
Kansas for a minute, man. I thought you was repping the home team over here, man. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's a little different blue.
Yeah. First I want to shout out that hoodie, man. That hoodie looks sweet, man. What's going on with that?
This whole thing, man. Nah, this
Yeah.
is actually my mother-in-law, man. She in borders or whatnot. She kind of stitched it on for me, so you know, it kind of has my my logo on it. And,
Oh shit! Okay.
I say stay tuned. I don't want to speak too soon on it,
Okay.
but definitely that's in the works, man. Along with a couple other things. I know people. The number one question I get is candles. When you gonna make candles? The body butter. You know, when am I gonna make that a permanent thing on the website? And it's all coming, man. Like I said, B Mac kind of touched on it. Bernie kind of touched on it. I'm in the process of moving. I just had my baby girl, so it's a lot going on. But once I get settled, definitely want to expand the brand as much as possible.
Got you. Well, I got a 3-part question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, number one, is this your first venture into entrepreneurship? And what was your what type of obstacles did you occur as you started going to this, and what made you what I mean, and I guess the second part of the first question is what else are you doing if you are more if you have done more entrepreneurial things?
I'll say this is the first thing that I really stuck with as far as entrepreneur or my own thing. I tapped into a couple things. I work in the health field. For those that don't know, I'm a 9 to 5 man. I go to work just like everybody else. So I work in mental health and substance abuse. I've been in mental health for like 15 years now. So you know, that's a passion and also a job. So I've actually kind of dibbled and dabbled and trying to start up like group homes or whatnot. But to answer your question, this is my first business as far as legit, my thing, my baby. To answer the other part of your question, man, honestly, the biggest obstacle, I launched my brand in 2021. And of course, we all know it was the height of the pandemic. So my perfumer, just like us, you know, we all come together. We've never met face to face. Well, I don't know about you guys. Anybody personally met each other face to face yet?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, so I'm sure we will sooner than later, and I'm sure it'll
No,
be a
we got
beautiful
to.
thing. Got to, man. But yeah. So my perfumer, I never met this guy, and I kind of had to orchestrate my brand. It was a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of trial and error. You know, I wasn't there to pick out notes and smell it. He'll send me a thing. I'll send it back. We'll tweak. So that was probably the hardest part, not being able to, you know, be directly hands-on and while I was being made. But to say the least, I couldn't ask for anything better, man. I don't think if I would have been there, it would have came out any better than it is now. So
Now, are you a natural born salesman? Does it come easy to you as far as selling it,
I say,
or is
yeah,
it right? Okay.
yeah. I've always been since like 12 or 13, man. You
Mhm.
know, if you like nice things, and I never been the type to beg, so I always kept a little hustle, man. Whether it was cutting grass, washing cars, you know, them Jordans come out on Saturday, Friday, back, you know, got to figure out a way, man. So
Right, I hear
I
you.
always kept a little hustle. So that definitely followed me throughout life. I have a degree in business, so yeah, man. I always kind of had a passion and been like, you know, a salesman, to say.
Okay, man, I appreciate you. I know me personally, the hardest thing for me to do is sell. Even with the collection that I have, and folks come at me and they like, are you selling anything? The hardest part for me in doing anything is asking anybody for money.
Right,
So right, so I commend you on that, brother. It's hard to realize a dream and fulfill it. So
right.
I give you props on that for real.
I appreciate it, man. And like I told you guys previously in private conversations, I believe in my product. You know, this is not,
Mhm.
like I said, I'm not bragging and boasting, but I don't run down on people and try to force it on them. You know, I usually on the website now you'll see my 2 ml samples for sale, but I probably went a year just passing them out. I went a year just giving them away before I sold any of them, and it
Well,
paid off. You know, people, I'll say
that's
about,
how I got down. So
yeah,
yeah,
see,
I
you
know.
know, probably about 75, 80%, no
Mhm.
exaggeration, of people that I gave the sample to called me back and made some type of purchase. So, you know, you
Mhm.
gotta, that goes to say, you know, part of business, you gotta give a little to make a lot, or to make a little, you know. So
That's what's up.
Damn.
sure.
G man.
Yes, sir. D Parks, man, you done had a whole lot go on in your life the last 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, man. To say the least, man. It is, I think during the pandemic probably been the busiest I ever been in my life, man. But I wouldn't change it for the world, man. I'm grateful.
Man, congratulations again on your new wife and new kid and all that stuff,
Appreciate it.
and your release of your fragrances, man. I'm gonna piggyback on what one of the things Rock's asked question about sales, and
Hmm.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm a business minded person. A lot of times you don't have to be a good salesman. Your product speaks for itself.
Right,
If you don't say anything at all, you can be the best salesman, but if your product is not good, it's not going to sell long.
right.
So kudos on producing a product of value and of substance that people want. So it's a good product.
I
Now, my
appreciate that.
question is business related. You have a degree in business. I have a little knowledge on business, a little background. Um, Two questions I have
Hmm.
for someone desiring to start their own business in the fragrance world. What pointers could you give them? Number one, and number two, capital for starting up. Is it a big investment, or would it require loans to get off the ground?
Right. It's a good question. Uh, I'll say this: every situation is different, but at the end of the day, you touched on something that really matters, and that's quality of the product. Like you said, you don't have to be a salesman to sell a good product. So that was my main focus, is making sure I had a quality product. So I focused on that, and like I said, to answer your question, you don't have to have a lot of startup money. You don't really have to take out a loan. You can start off with you can bust one of these bad boys down to the 2 mLs and get enough people. If you market it right, if it's a quality product, I can give it to Eric. Eric can give my man. Eric can give it to G. So I can have 3 customers right here that's going to tell 3 more people. That's going to tell 3 more people. And so on and so forth. So it doesn't take a lot. Of course, my goal is to reach the masses, man. But for anybody watching in any fragrant group that we are mutually in, I appreciate everybody, man, because I've made sales. I print my labels from home, so I see everywhere I'm sending my product to, and I think I've touched a decent amount of the states, U.S. states, man, and I've even had some people out of the country that
Wow.
have reached out and either made purchase or inquired about it, man. So it's a blessing, man, and I hope that answered part of your question, G, man. What was the other part that I might have missed?
You hit it.
Okay.
I think the other thing with the fragrance market being so competitive, you see fragrance companies, they have identified for male or female, a unisex. Was that in your thought process when you were developing your fragrance to go specifically to be unisex, or whether you're going to be either male or female? What market have you targeted? I mean, did any of that come across when you were looking at producing your fragrance?
No, that's a great question, man, and I'm glad you asked that because, as you can see, what is this mob? What Jay-Z say? Mob. This is pink. Whatever you want to call it, man.
Right.
I'm not ashamed to step out of the balance. Some men don't want to wear pink. Some guys don't want to wear a so-called female fragrances. But I love sweet. I love gourmand. I love I walk in and if it's something my wife got that I like, I try it. So I don't see it is gender and fragrances. I'm not gonna say that because some stuff you just know is for a woman. But
right.
to answer your question, man, I wanted to definitely have a unisex brand. So all of my offerings, even though you see a man on Plead the Fifth, I have women that love it. I just know more men gravitate towards this one. But it's definitely unisex. All my offerings are unisex. So yeah, man, unisex is definitely. I had that in mind going into it to answer your question for sure.
Let me say something real quick. I remember one of your posts where you recommended Delina
Right.
and what was the layer of Delina? Was it Instant Crush?
Yeah,
Or
man.
was it?
That's one
That
of
was
them
it?
ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I tried it and it was every bit of that.
Right.
It was every bit of that. And so, and as you say, Delina is a straight up feminine scent. But when you mix that with something like that straight down the middle with Instant Crush, it's every bit of that. It's every bit.
Like I tell a lot of guys that ask or that I tell, look, I don't shame away from certain scents. Females are attracted to the scents that they like, and if we carry ourselves masculine and those notes gonna pop off our skin a little different from them, they're gonna be. It's the cheat code to say the least. I think we all know that.
Yeah.
Not to say I don't wear masculine. I have plenty of masculine fragrances. I love tobacco, the note of tobacco. I love woody notes. So I have a fair share, but I ain't gonna lie, man. Something about them unisex fragrances that do the trick as far as compliment factor and the opposite sex being attracted to it. I'm out of the game now. I don't want to talk too loud. I want my wife to come here, man. But when I was out there, that was the cheat code, man. It messed them up. So for sure.
Brother, with the offerings you have, walk us through the notes of each one and what made you put those notes together when you was creating that fragrance.
That's a good question, man. You put me on the spot, be easy, because I don't have the notes in front of me. But I will say, Matrimony.
I'm gonna give you a minute to think about it. I just want everybody to see how clean Leonard is right now. Everybody see how clean Leonard is right now. So
He got on
I
the
feel
gang
honored,
all
man. I
stuff.
feel honored you chose the day that, that's I don't
right.
see a
So
stain on it, man. That's clean, man.
right.
For sure. But
Rock tripping. Detroit went 5 games in a row, man, and he picking on him. D, that's what's up with that. His team won, and so when Detroit run, when they win, he has a whole different attitude on
oh, you
and
sure
perspective on life, man. That's what that is.
a little bit more bold today. I get it, man. I get it. But to answer your question, man, Matrimony, which was the first offering, it's red fruits up top. You have some saffron, you have vanilla, the note of cherry. So, and actually, yeah, I put it out there, man. I'll be honest. In the process of making Matrimony, Plead the Fifth was actually not a mistake, but Plead the Fifth was one of the Matrimony samples. So,
Wow.
yeah, I don't think I ever really. My wife knows, a couple people know, but I never really told people like that. But yeah, so I was in the process of narrowing it down with what I wanted to go through, and I smelled this, man, and not that it leaned masculine, but I was like, look, I'm not giving this to my wife. This is me. This is my baby.
Yeah.
This is me. I'm gonna let her rock. So I ended up picking a different, the final product of Matrimony. But yeah, man, this was one of the Matrimony testers, and
Wow.
it's one of those things, man. When you, like Dre said, when you smell something, you just know, like, yeah, this one of the ones. And I think I did it was a nasty little dance, but it wasn't nobody watching, man. It just hit me, like the Holy Ghost hit me, man. I was like, yeah, this is it. So that's kind of how Plead the Fifth came about, man. And I said that to say, getting back to your question, if you notice, this is similar to Matrimony, but it's a little more masculine version, if that makes sense. But it's still unisex. But it has some similar notes. It does have the note of tobacco, which sets it apart.
Okay.
I want to say it has the note of vetiver that sets it apart, but
Wow.
they're similar. So this is like the male and female version, I guess you could say. I never really put it out there like that, but yeah. But like I said, don't get it twisted. This is both are unisex. I have men that live and die by Matrimony. I keep
I
showing up
told you that snuck up on me. I was shocked when I smelled that.
the Matrimony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure, man. And Dre, I blame it on him, man. We're gonna do like we usually do and blame it on him. He promotes Plead the Fifth so much.
Whoa. Come on, man.
He promotes Plead the Fifth so much and talks about it. And a couple of the females in the groups we're in, Keisha being one, Natasha, I'm name calling, it's a couple more. They talk about foreplay so much that Matrimony kind of gets left out. But don't sleep on Matrimony, man. This is, I actually got it on today. I was inspired by Dre. I think he has it. He chose it as his center today. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I had to do that.
So,
do you plan on coming out with anything else in the near future, or are you gonna rock out with these three for a while?
I do. I don't want to give a date, but I'll say maybe spring next year. I got something for y'all, man.
okay.
I might not talk much, but I observe, I watch everything, man, and I peep everybody's style. And not that I'm trying to cater to anybody in specific, but I kind of know what we all like and hate, and what would make sense for the masses, but still be unique. So without getting into too much detail, I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna do a straight, more masculine version than like a female scent. But like I said, I'm more of a unisex person, man. And when you get in a niche, I consider it is niche. It's
Yeah.
So definitely niche.
yeah. So it's not really a gender on niche fragrances. So I'm gonna leave it that way. But
now if you make a couple more of those hoodies, maybe a cap, we'll start calling you designer. But
you're right.
That's a good joke.
You're right.
Good
That's
one,
why
bro.
I'm gonna separate this
I might
from
still call
that.
niche. I might
Say,
say it's a
man,
niche hoodie.
D say you get him in the millions, you can call him whatever you want to call him.
Call it what you like, brother. Call it what you like.
Hey, D, I got to ask you a question, man.
Yes,
We
sir.
talk about it behind closed doors,
Right.
You were saying how you was working with a perfumer. Is it difficult finding a perfumer? And like, what are some of the issues that you found? Because you know that what you have in your mind, the painting or the picture you want,
Right.
and you're trying to get this other guy to create, or woman, I don't know who it is,
Right.
female or male,
Right.
that what you want. So talk to us a little bit about finding the perfumer and the trials. And when you were saying it was a back and forth, what are
Yeah,
some of the
man.
things that you was going through with that?
I gotta be honest, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie or try to act like I'm some type of act like it is what it ain't. So basically, like
Mm,
I said, the stars kind of align for me, man. I thank God every
mm,
day. I got a long way to go, man, but this is a great start. I couldn't ask for a better, product to start with to build on.
mm,
But to answer your question, man, going back to what I said about posting my center today, it just worked out. This guy kind of just
mm.
happened to fall in place when I was in the process of doing that, and I inquired about making a scent for my wife, and we kind of developed a rapport and a
I got
relationship,
you.
and they kind of went from there as far as finding one. So, and me and Dre, we talked behind the scenes, like, so I'm not gonna say it's easy. It just kind of
Mm-hmm,
worked out. Sometimes you can just stuff can fall in your lap. It's on you what you do with it.
mm-hmm.
Because I could have easily made this for my wife and left it at that, but like I said, that's why I really value my customers, anybody that has supported me, because if people wouldn't have inboxed me so much about it, I'm not gonna say I would or wouldn't have, but wouldn't have went as far as making a actual brand and venturing off and making different sense. So I appreciate everybody that has supported. And to answer the second part of your question, kind of the same as the first, man. It didn't take long for him for us to get on the same page. I was very, very specific in what I wanted. Um, and yeah, he kind of nailed it. It didn't take long. So it took a
That's
little
what's up,
back and
man.
forth. I know I'm kind of contradicting myself because I said that was one of
Mm-mm,
the obstacles, but once we
mm-mm.
got it right, it was right. It wasn't like, this all right, I'm gonna just roll with it because I'm tired. Nah, it was like, all right, this is it. So yeah, man.
But
I think somebody was
I'm
about
real
to
quick.
ask something.
it was up to
When
you though, right? I mean, if no matter how many times a perfumer presented something to you, if it exactly wasn't your vision, you had the right to send that back to him, right?
Oh, for sure, man. Like I said, I'm quality over quantity all day.
Mm-hmm,
So I
Mm-hmm.
just wouldn't have had a brand if it wouldn't have been right, or I would have found someone else uh, to do it. But like I said, man, it's just funny how it happened. That's why some stuff was meant to be, or God wanted you to go down that path, because the last sample pack I received, the trial and error pack, these two were in it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I keep picking up. This is the original. This is the original bottle with my actual picture and my wife's picture. So this is Matrimony that everybody knows.
mm-hmm,
But yeah, man, these two were in that pack, and like I said, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to give my wife, and I ended up going with this, and this was in that pack as well. And it came shortly after I presented her. I was working on getting this perfect. So
So
That's dope.
was it a situation where, like, well, when you looked at Plead the Fifth,
mhm.
or when you smell Plead the Fifth, you were like, this is good, but this ain't
Mm-hmm,
matrimony,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, like
Or
I
this
said,
ain't what you wanted for matrimony,
right.
right?
It was something in it, and like I said, I'm pretty sure it was the tobacco note that made it a
Mm-hmm.
little more masculine, because I know my wife's taste. I know what she likes, so I'm like, nah, she probably wouldn't wear that, even though it smells great. That's how I knew it was for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We have similar tastes, but I knew when I smelled it, like, nah, this is not for her, but it's gonna be for I'm gonna use it, and that's kind of how the brand started, because like I said, I was making this for her, and then I had that one. I'm like, I got 2 cents that I really like
Mm-hmm.
off the gate. So yeah, man, and I want to say around Valentine's Day last year, actually this year, man. Days go by so quick, man. I don't know what year it is, but whenever I dropped this, it was around Valentine's Day, and I wanted to be part of family, but still stand out and have a difference. So, and a lot of people don't really, well, I'm not going to say that, but I don't see peach used as much as some notes. So I wanted to build around that, but have something that's, part of it. That's why I'm into layering a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I layer. I'm a layer, man. So I design all these to layer together. I think,
All right.
I don't know if it was Natasha, somebody in one of the groups mentioned that they layered all three, and I think Eric, I think you mentioned you said it might have been a little too strong for somebody that was around you, which they are part from X straight, so you can't. I wouldn't
And
say go crazy.
I'm pretty certain it was me because I
Right,
went pretty crazy.
right.
So it was me. So
Yeah,
So
man.
since
But
you said layering, about the new product that you released, the body butters, along with layering with your scents.
oh, for sure, yeah. So this is the body butter. I'm working on a presentation. This is kind of just getting it out there. But my mother, she makes her own whipped shea butter products. So she makes like body butter. She makes the whipped. She makes a spray version of it. Um, she makes a hair and beard oil that I'm gonna
Oh, shoot.
get to you guys. Yeah, man. Bernie, like I was telling you, one of my barbers, he takes it and uses it on his clients after he cuts their bald head. He'll apply the shea butter. So it was just my idea to infuse it with my scents.
Mm,
I know a lot of females in the groups. Excuse me. And I keep referring to the groups, but in general, whoever watching this,
mm-hmm,
a
mm-hmm,
lot of females like the layer with the lotion, the
mm-hmm.
body butter or lotion first, and then put on their perfume and so on and so forth. And I do the same thing. So I wanted to, and it's Mom Dukes. Why wouldn't I, tag up with her and make a hit? So yeah, eventually all three scents will be on the site, and I'll have a version
Mm.
where all three are infused in one, which was what I released as a little trial run about a month ago. And I appreciate you guys. It sold out very quick, but and I got pretty good feedback from that. But yeah, man, that's the body butter, and yeah, man.
So what's the I know you launched a website and you mentioned it a few times. What is the website so people can go and look at your offerings and see the things that you have on your site?
Right.
For the ones who don't know.
Yeah, it's partsenscollection.com. And I'm sure somebody can link it down in the comments or in
and
but yeah, Part Sense
it
Collection.
will be in the description after the show.
Oh
So
man, I appreciate it. Yeah, so feel free to go to the website. I'm pretty sure this question was coming, but I'll go ahead and tap on it as far as the holidays. And I just had a little Black Friday sale, but I'm working on something. I'll be announcing it very soon. You guys can give me some feedback. I'm thinking about doing. If you get a 4-size bottle, you get a free travel size for a Christmas sale. So
I
Oh
know
yeah, I'm
that's
doing that.
right, man. Yeah,
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 I'm
yeah,
doing that.
yeah.
yeah.
Let's go
So
ahead and
And
get on real quick.
and slide some of that body butter in there, bro. I need some of that in my life, man. You
right,
need some
right,
shine. You
hey,
need
right,
some
I
shine up there.
for
got a
sure, man.
question. I got a question, D.
Yes, sir.
Um, as far as being a black businessman is concerned,
Hmm.
and with us launching this channel, like my mother calls and she tells me that she watches every episode. I got a few friends that are faithful in watching these episodes. They even participate in asking questions. They're active part of the show,
Right.
right? As far as like outside of FragCom, how has the support been from our community? Right. So I know you say like you collab with your mother quite a
Hmm.
bit, but outside of FragCom, how big is the support have you been receiving in our community?
It's great, man. For you got to put in the work to earn. So like I mentioned before, I got a lot going on right now. I work every day, so I don't go as hard as I plan on going. But it's times, man, I go in the mall and just have my backpack with the samples and the travel and my fragrances, and not just run up on people, but I might catch somebody coming out of Macy's. It is what it is. I catch them coming out of a fragrance store, and I might,
Mhm.
try to look the part where they like, all right, I at least hear what he got to say. I give them the sample. I give them my card, man. And to answer your question, man, it goes back to a quality product, you know. So yeah, when I give it to our people, they usually call back, man, because like I tell people all the time, people say it's black owned, so I'm gonna support you. I think all of you young men have supported me in some type of way, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think y'all actually use the product. Well, I could put words in Dre's mouth. Dre, he uses his faithfully. But
I be going crazy. I can't lie.
Look, I got a dent. I hope
I
you can
see your little dent, man. I like that. I see that. But nah, man. So my thing is, you know, I don't want you to just support me because it's black owned. I want you to actually use it. So like, I always say when Dre put it in his top 10, it blew me just based off of his size, his collection size. I was like, wow, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I get support, man, from us definitely. Because they're shocked. They're like, all right, it's one of us and it's quality, so it's like a win-win. You know, so for sure.
I know one of the
So,
things that stood out when I did the review. My bad, Dre. When I did the review of your scent,
Right.
I was like, man, the concentration slim. I said he won't messing around.
Yeah,
When he
man.
made the fragrance, he made sure there was a high concentration. So when you said that you can still smell it on your robe, I know right off the top that's not a lie because you really put a lot of emphasis on making sure that whoever was doing it, that they made sure that they used that high concentration, which makes it stand out in that quality realm which you was talking about.
Facts. But see, that's what I'm saying. I know what I like, man. So, and I'll say this. So I wouldn't put out anything I wouldn't wear. I wouldn't want to wear. Like I said, I'm an oversprayer, and I like my stuff. I don't want it to be going in an hour, which I don't think nobody does. But some people like close skin scents. I'm not one of them. I want, you know what I'm saying? I walk through the door, you know, I'm coming through the door. But
You're in the building.
you feel me? So that was one of my things, man. And yeah, that was real big on my decision as far as which direction I wanted to go. So, like I said, they're all Parfum X straight, man. You can overspray if you want, but at your own discretion.
don't do it. Don't do it yourself.
But it doesn't take much. And another thing, yeah, I was going to tap into as far as making sure I'm you know what I like. I'm big on customer service, man. It's a couple of people that might have got a little delay in their package or I have forgotten, man, because I'm a one-man army. You know, my wife helps me, but this is all me, man. I you know, outside of my perfumer getting it to me, I package it. I create the labels. I got to keep up with everything, you know. So it's not the easiest thing in the world still having a life outside of this. But if you order today, I'm going to try to make sure I get your package out. So, because I know I'm sitting by the mailbox when I order something like, look, man, I ordered 2 days ago. It should be here by now. So I'm big. I try to be as fair and as good as I can in customer service. That's real big for me.
Well, see,
Let me
more your
Go ahead, Lala.
your
Good, Dre.
your brand grows. Are you ever gonna plan to change up the presentation, or you gonna keep it classic?
Now I think my plan has always been to upgrade it. You know, what Fat Joe say? Yesterday's price is not today's price, man. So you get it while you can get it at this price. Because I knew when I made it. Like I said, I don't want anyone to confuse this with me bragging or boasting, but I know quality. You don't have to like the way it smells, but I know the quality of it. So, and I know what I can walk in Macy's or Dillard's and pick up, or even Neiman Marcus that might be double or maybe triple the price. Every one of you guys got something in your collection that's 4 times the price of this or this or any other.
Call us out like that.
I mean, it is what it is. So, you know,
I ain't got none that high.
But yeah,
I'm gonna definitely say this because I mean, if everybody knows that I rank my fragrances,
right.
And I got 2 of yours, and both of yours beat out some very expensive fragrances, some $300 fragrances. Plead the Fifth and Foreplay beat out. So that says quite a bit. That says quite a bit.
And I appreciate it, man. Y'all just don't know how much that means to me. Cause some days, man, just like anybody else, man, I get discouraged and like, man, I got to deal with this, got to deal with that. Newborn at home, so I some days I'm like and then I literally open Facebook and the first thing I see is somebody sin of the day is matrimony or dropping a link to my website saying how much they love it, or Dre posting 50 bottles of one fragrance that he bought from me on his display. So all of that keeps me going, man, and it doesn't go unnoticed. I really appreciate it all, man, because I wouldn't be anything, or my brand wouldn't be anything without the supporters, So I feel
Look,
like
so
if I can get anybody to smell it, I feel like I got them. That's my thing. It's just getting it to them. Like I said, I think all of y'all, I probably reached out in some kind of way, like, look, here, take this, and let me know what you think, and it kind of went from there. So I appreciate y'all giving me the time of day, for real.
What's your favorite fragrance note?
Note. That's a good question. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I have a favorite note. I do like sweet fragrances. I like that's why I think Plead the Fifth is what. No, I'm not gonna say that because my favorite out of mine change up every week. One week I'm feeling this, next week I'm feeling that. But Plead the Fifth is my baby, man. That's the one that really I think represents me, and what I stand for. So, but I don't think I have a favorite note, honestly. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you.
Let me ask you a question, D.
Yes, sir.
Actually, two questions. The first one is, when you were starting out with your brand, EDT normally, the concentration levels, what you have versus EDT, what's the percentage difference if you were to go with an EDT versus what you have now? What was the percentage difference between the two?
As far as the oil concentration?
No, the percentage in cost
Oh,
for say a 20 milliliter bottle. Because I'm trying to prove a point here. I'm trying to make a point.
Right. I don't want to lie. I don't know that. I have to look back. I don't know the exact difference. It wasn't nothing crazy. And that's another reason I went with what I went with. But it was a
It was
difference.
noticeable.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Because
Now, and the reason I'm saying that is because you're focused upon putting out a quality product.
right.
You could have started out with a cheaper level product,
Right.
but that's not what you option to do.
Right.
So that shows your commitment to your product that you're putting out, that you're willing to take the risk and spend more money to put a high quality product out because that's what you represent.
Right. Nah, for sure. But yeah, it definitely was a difference. But like I said, man, it's quality over quantity. I'll probably say that 10 more times. However long we're gonna stay on, I'm gonna keep saying it because that's what I want. That's what I believe in. That's if I'm going to buy something, which I'm not gonna get into because it will be up here all night. But I'm not against dupes. I have some clone fragrances that probably last just as long, if not longer than I might ruffle some feathers, man. Y'all up here with cashmere, all white cashmere. So I know y'all different tax bracket, but
we all working folk, man. That's all. We all working folk.
Facts.
but I just said that to say that I think our good brother Devin is in one of the groups. I think Dre, you have some of his offerings from
yeah.
genre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm not against clones by any means. I don't even know how I went that direction. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
I think you answered the question. I think the other question I have, and golly, you went off and I went off on my second question. So yeah, my next question is, would you consider your fragrances all season, or do you? Because there are some fragrances that you wear
Right.
based upon the temperature, the climates, the season. How do you categorize yours? Is it all season, or is it certain ones that wear in the winter, certain in the summer months. So how would you categorize yours?
That's a great question. I'm glad you touched on that because that was another one of my main things. I got, I categorize. I'm not gonna act like I don't. I wear what I want when I want, but
Right,
you don't want to be wearing no heavy oud and 100-degree weather.
right.
You can if you want, but
Ooh.
I try my best to design them to be all season. So it was not the easiest task because they're actually 50% oil based, which is the highest concentration you can have in a fragrance. They're 50% parfum extract. So they're gonna make some noise regardless. But I did try to I guess design the notes where they'll make sense in any season. Summertime it doesn't take much, but any one of these will get the job done. A couple sprays, and also heavy dead winter. They're gonna cut through that hoodie, that coat, whatever. So yeah, man, for sure. All seasons to answer your question. In my
And
opinion,
50,
everybody's different. But I wear them all year.
Okay.
I would
yeah,
say,
and
Laquita had a
50%,
good
man.
question too.
That's a
We got
lot.
We was asking how you come up with your prices.
That is a good question. Honestly, I was looking at the bigger picture, and it goes back to you asked about me the presentation. I knew eventually I was going to upgrade my presentation. As I started making revenue, I was going to have more, backing to do what I really wanted to do. So I wanted to start off fair, but not cheat myself to the point because it is what it is. I'm gonna be straight up. I know how I am, and this is just how people think. If I would have priced this, either one of these, Dre, if I would have told you this was $50, $35 for this size, 55 ml, you might would have tried it, but you would have thought it was a cheap, whatever. You wouldn't have put as much respect on it
took it
as you would
seriously.
have. Right.
If I didn't try the samples first, then yeah, I probably would have had that thought in my head.
Right, and that's how as people we're programmed. We based up off a price. I could have said $35. You would have been like, I could have said 200. You might would have been more intrigued, just because. So I kind of, to answer your question, it's right there in the middle where it's not crazy overboard, and plus, like I said, Macy's, Dillard's, all these places you can go get your typical designer fragrances because I'm just starting out. I'm gonna be catering to the masses, so when they go in there, I'm like, look, if you spend $100 on this, trust me, you can spend $100 on this and you're gonna get what you pay for. So that was
But you said 50%. Oh shit.
yeah.
You ain't
So
playing with it.
And you can see it. It's evident. It's not It's not an exaggeration. It's not an exaggeration.
And over
Now, when you
time,
were,
man, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, Dre might have one old enough, but over time, man, the juice actually changes. Like
Oh
you
yeah,
can,
it turns.
yeah, that's that
I got
power, man. When I say they hit, matter of fact, if y'all can hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get my wife's first foreplay. I just want y'all to see it for 1 second.
Yeah,
we
because
here.
one of my
Talk
foreplays
about
is the same way.
G-Man attire real quick, and I'll be right back.
Not a problem. We here. Okay.
I guess you can look at the questions and stuff.
We gonna show off Leonard's sweater one more time. Highlight it.
Oh man,
And
come
Rock,
on,
see if
man.
we got anybody asking any questions in the
We do.
This is a good time to go ahead and answer some of those.
Yeah.
Danisha said was asking if he was coming out with any other sense. He said he's working on that. Not giving no specific time frame, but he's saying next year sometime.
And Laquita also asked, that was the question that Laquita asked. But someone asked,
I apologize, fellas.
No, we're just answering some of the questions that the listeners have posted in the chat.
Right.
I just
it's
want
some
y'all
that
to see this.
that you answered already that they may have
I'm about to
missed.
say I think we answered most of them so far.
Okay.
But
I know
just
we
want y'all
came
to see
back
this.
a little bit later to see if his fragrances were unisex, and they are.
Right. So this was produced recently, probably within the last month. So you can see the juice color. It's kind of clear, pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of my wife's foreplay from probably early, probably last year or when I first dropped it. So you can see.
Yeah,
Wow.
darker.
See that.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
darker.
That's how one of mine look. That's how
Yeah.
my person look.
Yeah. And when I say this is busting, yeah. You can tell it's been, you know. So with time, man, they you know, as they sit and do what they do, you can definitely tell.
I think that's part of maturation process.
Mhm.
Right. For
Now,
sure.
when you go through layers, or let me rephrase, when you go through the process and you get one from a perfume, you get I guess the prototype from the perfumer. Do you share with anybody, or is that just you and the perfumer? Do you get anybody else's opinion?
Yeah, I do, man. I got besides my wife, I got a couple homeboys that I trust their nose, and I trust they gonna keep it 100 with me. So I'll, here, man, try this. Let me know what you think. Or, yeah, I definitely, man, because I'm not just doing it for my nose. I need the feedback of others. That's why even y'all, sometimes I'm, with Dre, he was. I feel like I had just dropped foreplay, so I threw it in there just to get, somebody outside that don't know me, that ain't got no reason to lie to me. What do you think? That has a collection that I will respect his opinion. So, yeah, for sure, man. I get the opinion of others. For sure, man. That definitely helps me make my decision. For sure.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
What you gonna name after your baby girl, man?
That's a good question, man.
I know it's
I
coming.
know it's coming. I know it's coming.
That's probably the next one about to drop.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say too much, but
Mm-hmm.
eventually, man, yeah, it'll be something, man. It'll be something.
Some
I
smell a
wanted
little
to-
like baby powder a little bit.
Thought about
Look
that,
at
but thought about
No,
it.
really, there are fragrances out there. I know Clive Christian.
Mhm.
It has a smell of baby powder on the dry down sometimes. So there are fragrances out there like that.
Yeah, I like some baby
That's how
powder.
X is.
Tom Ford, effing fabulous, man. But I'm not a real fan of that. But that's definitely baby powder, baby wipes vibe to me, to my
Yeah.
nose.
Have you ever
I wa-
thought about D at some point, man? There's some fragrance companies that they have a children's fragrance. Is that something you may explore down the road?
Thought about it. With my daughter in the picture now, definitely thinking about that, man. But as you can see, man, I my stuff might irritate the baby. I don't know if baby can handle this, man. So
No, you would. No. You wouldn't. No.
I don't know,
You
man.
got too much going on, man.
I'm all about all around smell good. So it may not be a perfume or a fragrance, but it could be something else. Because I'm into candles, and that's to get into what I got next, man. I'm definitely working on candles eventually. I have we're in the process of moving, but I have burners in my house where I burn all three of these. I have one burner with all three of them mixed together in a burner.
Come on, bro.
People walk in the crib, man. It do what it's supposed to do. So I'm working on getting that to the masses as well. I have a bottle I keep in my car. I wash my car, man. So.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, man. Women a lot of times they like those roll-ons.
Right.
Is that something you factored or looked at down the road?
I thought about it, but I'm not really the biggest. I mean, I take that back because I mentioned how my mom got me started in the fragrances, and she was a heavy oil person, and so I'm not against it, but I don't know. That's a good question, G man.
Because right now, if you at 50%, man, you pretty much right there with the oils, man.
Right. Yeah. It's almost an oil in a bottle, man, in a spray form. And I'm glad you kind of touched on that because believe it or not, some people have bought my travel size,
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's a spray. You pour the top off, you spray it. Some people have actually not even poured this off, screwed the whole thing off and was dabbing it, thinking it was a oil.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So I had to make a
Notice the
video.
long tube coming out of there? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but when you talking about 50% though,
Right.
that's pretty much oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Close enough to it. For
Close
sure.
enough to it.
Yeah, man.
Well, we're at an hour right now, brother, and I'm just saying this to you. I know that my grandfather told me that when you're on this earth as a man, it's your responsibility to leave a legacy. And I really appreciate the fact that you went with your passion. You started your line. You know, you grinding and you doing your thing over there, and I really appreciate you, brother. You
I
know, keep
appreciate you
grinding
guys.
and keep growing, man. We really
Sure, I
appreciate you
I,
appreciate
taking
it.
time with us.
I definitely appreciate you let us get your nose on those.
Yeah,
Because
man.
I would have never known otherwise.
I appreciate y'all, man, more than y'all know, for real, man. And I commend you guys on everything y'all got going with the show. I know I might not be vocal in the comments, but I do tap in. I might not catch it on Sundays because there's so much going on right now, but I watch it back, so I haven't missed an episode. And I commend you guys, man. Big ups. Y'all keep it up. It's needed. It's it's a different lane, and we grow together, man. I hope
No, man.
y'all have me back when y'all got 1 million subscribers, and I hope I have $1 million and we can talk a little different.
Definitely try to do that.
We appreciate you throwing that in the atmosphere because that's
Oh
definitely
yeah,
the target,
for
right?
sure.
So speaking of that, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Please share this out to people that you feel like would enjoy this type of content. Also follow us at Instagram at Frag Illuminati, right? And we do appreciate my man D for coming out and supporting us and blessing us on the mic today. We're gonna let B Man finish taking us out.
Hey, make
Well,
sure that
let
you
me
tell.
yeah,
Oh, go
let
ahead,
let
Jay.
me
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh, here you go.
DA
You better
man.
come with some foolishness.
Mhm.
No, it's straight up, man. I appreciate you,
Oh, okay.
just sitting down and spending time with us, man. Exposure is always good for good people,
Right.
and hopefully we're giving you some. And so we appreciate you coming out, man, sharing a little information, sharing with listeners, man, how to get in business, how to consider operating a business, what all is involved. You're giving us the lowdown on what it takes to get to where you are. It's not a just spontaneous thing that you do. So that exposure is worth millions by itself, man. So we appreciate you. Best of luck, man, to you and your newborn and your family and all that, man.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you. Much love to you, brother.
Appreciate it, man. I
Most
thank you for the
definitely.
You
platform. I
you
really
gave the
do.
website up, but how can people get in contact with you? You gave us the website. Give us the website and how people can get in contact with you to buy some items.
Yeah, so the website, or you can DM me, man. D Parks on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to shoot me a DM, man. I try to respond to everybody. And if I can get it to you on the website, or you have issues with the website, DM me and we'll figure it out, man. I think before I had my website, believe it or not, man, and before I even was shipping out orders, I really enjoyed I would meet up with people with their order, have the presentation and handing it off. That gave, that built character and
Mm-hmm.
a rapport, and people feel it's a different feeling, So
Mm-hmm.
I respond to people, man. I don't know who mentioned celebrity in the beginning of this, but I'm far from a celebrity, man. I'm trying to get to a celebrity financially point, but I don't need the fame. Just give me the fortune, baby, and I'm good. But nah, man, definitely D Parks on Facebook, man. DM me or check the website, and I appreciate you guys linking the website. And whenever y'all talk about my sense, I appreciate y'all tagging, putting it in y'all posts. Y'all don't have to do that, I got some homeboys that won't even do that, man. I love them, but you guys, I
Hey, brother.
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you
Merry Christmas to you from the Frag Illuminati, brother.
for sure.
And
Same to you guys, man.
blessings to you. That princess you got there. Enjoy those moments, man, because they grow up fast, and enjoy your house, man. You
Yes,
deserve
sir.
it.
Appreciate it, man.
Brothers, go ahead and talk to him, man, before we close it out.
did y'all catch that game? I ain't paying no game. I ain't never seen no game in my life.
Oh wow,
Hey man, what is Dre talking about, man?
I
You
don't
don't know.
know.
You
I'm just
don't
out here,
know.
man. I'm lucky enough to be here today. Jesus Christ.
Okay. Well,
Cut me some
D,
slack.
make sure that you send us the website again so I can make sure that it's underneath the that it's in the description once
Will
this
do.
posts live, and I can do some editing.
Yes, sir.
All right. So yeah, we appreciate you. We definitely will have you back, and especially once we definitely once we get our weight up,
Right.
when we get our
Same here, man.
right,
Same here.
and we'll definitely have you back, and we appreciate you blessing us. Um I have foreplay and plead the fifth, but I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on matrimony. So
Yeah, don't sleep on matrimony, man.
Yeah,
I gotta drill it in people because that's one of the ones that'll shock you, man.
they caught me off guard.
Yeah, man. It's fruity up top. I will say that it's a blast of fruity notes and shit. But once that thing dry down, you give it about 10 minutes, man, and you making some noise, baby. Trust me.
Banger.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Merry Christmas to you, brother.
Yeah, man.
And
God
we'll be
bless all
talking
of
to
you
you
guys.
soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yep.
we the Illuminati, y'all.
Take us out,
Peace.
Bernie. Take us out. Later,
Well, you
fellas.
know I got to do that. You know we don't know
Cut.
each